Good morning, guys. Haven't posted a video to YouTube for a while, but mostly because I had to rush this thing together, and it's been winter and it hasn't been making a particularly huge amount of power. So last time I posted, I think I just put the inverter in. So since then, you can probably tell that that's changed a bit. So I've got the servo controller now. We've got the shunt for the 14 volt side and the 52 volt side. There's some stuff to fix. I sort of put it together fairly quick. These are new resistive tank sensors that we're going to put in. So these are the wires for the old one. I don't know if anybody either remembers or looks back at the other videos, but we used to have one of these water tank probes. Tried converting this to an IoT system, but if you pass current through these, they effectively work with like electrons flowing through the water, and you've got like one that provides power and the other one's a signal. But if you pass power through them all the time, it calcifies the the terminals inside the tank. So I'm going to switch over to these because they'll work directly with this, which is awesome. There's a DC charger in there. So a few things have happened, but yeah, I intend to. We're getting back into summer, so we've got some solar happening. So I've got a little experiment that I want to do. I'm not sure if you can see that. So currently our load is at 224 watts, right? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to yank this cord out. So I've had this idea for a little while. And I'll explain why in a sec. Now that's gone up to 290 watts, right? So there was some power coming in off that cable. Anybody who knows me, that, by the way, the consumption is the fridge. The fridge uses a considerable amount of power, usually around 300 watts. So it's a bit of a pig. Anyway, long story short, what we did was we pulled off the two 120 watters that are up there. That's where those, these little bits of angle on there. That's where the 120s used to be, and we replaced them with two 370s. So if you know anything about MPPTs, particularly the Victron ones, you've got to be 5 volts above your battery bank if you want the charge process to start. So between those two, we're at like 70 something volts, which is enough to charge the battery, but it meant that the other two panels are actually useless. So what we're going to do is, here's my little test rig. Each of these panels is about, I think they're 40 volts open circuit. They're 250 watters that someone gave me. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this little microinverter here. This is an APS, what is that, YC500A microinverter. It's not explicitly like supposed to work with ESS, although they do have a version that does. But I was watching Off Grid Garage, and he used a Shelly EM 1PM, I think it was, with the energy monitoring on it. And he used that to measure the solar production back into the system. So I could do that, but you can sort of kind of rush that all together as well. It works, but yeah, you could definitely do some nerding up. So yeah, what we're going to do, instead of using the Shelly 1PM, we're going to replace this because it only has a single AC input. I've got a Quattro 2 48 5000, so it's bigger as well. That'll deal with our peak loads better. But yeah, we'll replace this, and it's got two inputs. And the reason I want two inputs is I want one for generator and one for grid. When this thing's home, I want it to be able to participate with the house and charge the house's battery bank. But when I'm away, and I'm running off a generator, I want the second output to shut. Now normally the second output to open. Normally the second output doesn't work when you're off grid, but you can manually drive it up so that it like enables even when you're off grid. So what I'm planning to do is get that microinverter installed in the box here with the inverter, and I'll connect it to AC output too, so I can set a bunch of rules about when it should be producing power and when it shouldn't. One of the things I want to look for example, if I use the Shelly example, they've created a D-bus service that runs on the servo controller, takes information in from the servo controller and then publishes it onto the D-bus as if it's a PV inverter. So that's what we're going to do. But we're going to use the AC out 2 because it has a shunt to measure its current as well, which normally shows up as a non-critical load. It won't show up in this case, but we should be able to get that in, well, we're hoping to get that information from it, and then it'll basically simulate a PV inverter. So that's the plan anyway. So anyway, look, it's getting back into summer, so more solar means I'll have more opportunities to make some videos, and hopefully I can do it with a little bit more regularity than I was doing last time. But yeah, if you like watching this sort of content, feel free to subscribe. Comment below if you think I'm doing something wrong or if you think I can do something better. Otherwise, yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next one.